How are you going to pass your real estate exam? Well, you're going to practice lots and lots of national questions and, of course, study your vocabulary every day. You want to do this every day, either in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening. Set your calendar and the same schedule to study every day so that you get better prepared for that real estate exam. And you're learning a new language, and so it's very important that you learn that vocabulary. And I will review questions today and also the answers. So we'll start out with some national questions, and then we'll do either math or Texas State. All right, so we're continuing with question 515. And the question is, real estate sales agents are legally authorized to do what? A, represent their employing broker in procuring clients and customers. B, act directly on a client's behalf to discharge the broker's listing responsibilities. C, negotiate and execute contracts for sale on behalf of the client. Or D, take the listing responsibilities for other listings in the MLS. Type your answer in the chat, the question number and the letter answer. And tonight, we're only streaming to YouTube, AgentPrep. So if you're used to watching on Facebook, you'll need to come to YouTube today. So come on and type that answer. So the answer here for 15 is A, represent their employing broker in procuring clients and customers. So real estate agents, sales agents are legally authorized. Now it says represent their employing broker. We're actually not employed by them. We hang our license with a broker, with a sponsor. However, all our transactions, all our listings and our contracts belong to the broker, and all the commission goes to the broker, and then we are paid through them as an independent contractor. All right, number 16. How does the position of an independent contractor licensee differ from that of an employee licensee? Well, I just mentioned something, right? So A, the independent contractor is responsible for his or her own taxes. The broker does not withhold taxes, right? B, the independent contractor must obtain his or her own training. It is not provided by the broker. C, the employee is not entitled to company benefits. Or D, the independent contractor must abide by all office meeting schedules. Hi, Anna. Thanks for joining us. So type your answer, the question number, and the letter answer in the chat. So what is different between an independent contractor and an employee licensee? So the majority of us, once we get our license, we will be independent contractors. Some realtors do become transaction coordinators. They get hired by the brokerage instead of representing clients. So which one would be the correct answer as far as the difference between an independent contractor, once you pass your license, and an employee licensee? All right, Mr. Johnny Ware says 15A, 516A, and that is correct. The independent contractor is responsible for his or her own taxes, right? Because we are independent. We do not get a W-9. We get a 1099, and we file our own taxes. The broker does not withhold taxes. Very good. All right, number 7 or 17. A salesperson commission and a commission rate and structure is established by whom or what? A, state regulations. B, competitive conditions. C, agreement between other brokers in the market, or negotiations with the clients. So who do we get paid by? And so who do we negotiate with? Because all real estate transactions, commissions, everything is what? Type your answer in the chat. The answer here is B, by competitive conditions. So real estate is competitive, right? It's an open market. It's not a monopoly. And so competition is good. Agents may only act on behalf, So commission structures are negotiated between the agent and employing broker as a function of competitive market conditions. So we actually negotiate the commission with our clients, right? And the brokerage is going to have a minimum that we can potentially charge, okay, a client, because all transactions belong to the broker. So once we cap at a particular broker or sponsor, and our cap could be what, 15,000, 16,000, 20,000, 21,000. Once we pay that commission to the brokerage, then we earn 100%. So we're the ones fully negotiating with our clients. However, commission structures, okay, are negotiated between the agent and employee broker as a function of the competitive market. So if you're ever in a conversation about several of you realtors or brokers charging a particular commission, you want to walk away from that. Okay, that is illegal. It is an open market and negotiable. So the answer here was B. What happened to the answer? Okay, maybe I deleted it. Oh my gosh, now it typed 3 times. Hi, Taylor. No, the answer is not C. Agreement with other brokers in the market, no. It's only within our own broker and our clients. So the answer is B. We cannot be cooperating with other brokers and try to be the only ones that charge 3%, 4% because we want to get more listings. That is not it. That is not legal. That is illegal. All right, number 18. Gee, I feel like I haven't done this in ages. All right, I took a week off, right? So number 18, in obtaining offers from a buyer, an agent must be careful to do what? A, pursue only those offers which are at or near the listing price. B, balance the owner's price expectations with the buyer's opinion of value. Or C, avoid disclosing what price the owner will accept. Or D, avoid completing offers that are beneath market value. So remember, we have a fiduciary duty to our clients and confidentiality. There are certain things we can disclose, and there are many that we must not disclose. Type your answer in the chat. The question number and the letter answer. Actually, the answer here for 18 is C. Avoid disclosing what price the owner will accept. So we have a property listed. We're representing a seller that wants to sell the property in this market. So do you think we can share what that seller is willing to accept? No, right? Our job is to get them the highest and best price for their property and to negotiate that. We cannot disclose that, okay? It's illegal to disclose to any other buyer, any other realtor. Realtors cooperate with each other. One represents a buyer, another represents a seller, right? In most conditions, there are exceptions. And they are there to help bring a mutual decision between their clients and communicate within the realtors, because we are hired by our client to represent them and to do the negotiation, advise them, and to guide them. But we cannot disclose what our seller is willing to accept, and if we have any offer already on the table, what that offer is. And the buyer agent cannot disclose to the selling agent, to the listing agent, what a buyer is willing to offer. It has to be in writing and negotiated between the clients, between the seller and the buyer. So let's see, several of you answered B. Let's see, you answered B. Balance the owner's price expectations, opinion of value. No, 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 no. We don't have buyer's opinion of value. In obtaining offers from a buyer, an agent must be careful to avoid disclosing what the owner will accept. So the agent that is representing the seller, they cannot disclose. Okay, they are obtaining offers from buyers and from buyer agents. So if we're helping a buyer that called us on our listing, on our property, we immediately have to disclose that we represent the seller, and we cannot guide them or advise them nor negotiate with them. We can help them get their own realtor to sponsor them, to represent them, or we will write the offer, ask the questions, fill in the blanks, and present it to the seller. We can provide them with public information, comparables that are, all over the place, right? Through Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, Homes.com, all those websites. We cannot share the seller's price, okay? What they're willing to accept. And it's not balancing the owner's price expectations with what a buyer thinks. If the owner is going to do that, then hey, buyers are going to have a lead, right? So what happens is when an offer is accepted and the property closes, that becomes the current market value. Okay, the decision, the mutual agreement between a seller and a buyer, a sale and purchase of a property, that determines the current market value. So what did I have? So did Anna and Deb got it right. That's good. All right. All right. Number 19. Co-mingling vocabulary is the practice of what? Blending escrow funds on a number of properties in one escrow account. B, mixing socially with prospects at open houses or other marketing functions. C, allocating commission funds from a transaction for use in the agency's business. Or D, mixing escrow funds with the broker's operating funds. So what is co-mingling? Right? Co-mingling, mixing things that we shouldn't. In this case, money, right? We can't mix. So what is it? Blending escrow funds, right? Those are all vocabularies. Escrow, prospects, okay, allocating, commission, transaction. See how many vocabulary just in that question and the answers? The answer is D, mixing escrow funds with the broker's operating fund. So escrow funds, right, are any deposits, earnest money, okay, that in a buyer and sales contract, deposits from rent or money received for monthly, animal deposits, all those go into a trust account. And in a closing transaction, then they go to the title company. They're in an escrow account, which is a trust account with the escrow officer. And the escrow officer can be an attorney or a title company, a real estate attorney. So even if it's going to be borrowed for a few minutes, taken out of a trust account, that's illegal. Okay, or mixing it, taking it, putting it into their business account, and then shortly after getting money and putting it back in the client's trust account, that is commingling and is illegal. Number 20, three leading agencies charge identical commission rates for brokering office property in Phoenix. Based on this information, which of the following is true? A, there is insufficient evidence of anything other than a normal business practice. The brokers have engaged in legal collusion, vocabulary, right? C, the brokers have allocated the Phoenix market. Or D, the brokers have illegally fixed prices. So no price fixing is allowed, right? It's not a monopoly, it's an open market. So if three leading agencies charge identical commissions, can that be normal? Just normal practice or not? Type your answer in the chat. Chaim is homemade hospitality. Thanks for joining us. The answer is A. Hey, Cassie. So you're saying you haven't tested yet? Oh boy, seems like we're having some internet issues, or it's StreamYard. I haven't tested yet. So 520 is A, not D. So y'all, this is not price fixing, okay? It doesn't say they are getting together, okay, and colluding to charge the same interest. It just happens to be that they're all charging the identical commission, 6% or 7%, right? So very common, right, in many areas is 6%. And it can be determined sometimes by the market as to what a seller is willing to accept or not. However, when we value our service, we demonstrate that we're confident about it, we believe in ourselves, and we inform our clients what we're providing for that 6% fee that we are charging, and that we are worth it, just like a doctor, an accountant, a dentist, an attorney. Okay, so they are not illegally price fixing. Why? Because look, it says three leading agencies charge identical commission rates for brokering. It doesn't say they're discussing it or they're coming into an agreement to do it compared to everybody else. They just happen to be charging the same commission. And that is legal. That's normal. Y'all get that? So let's see. Anna said, ooh, want to share here. I passed my state exam on the 4th try, going to try national now for my 5th and last. Yes, make it yours, right? Of course, you have 2 more if you're going for your 5th, but congratulations on passing your state. Yeah, so I'm not sure what are you talking about assigning a contract? Cassie, do you mean assignments, assigning a contract? if that's what you mean, to assign a contract is what an individual that puts an offer on a property and they say, I, John Doe, am purchasing this property and or assigned, they can assign it. So wholesalers will tie up a property by putting an offer, and then they find a buyer who they already think they have buyers that may be interested, other investors, and they bring the two parties together. So they tie up the property with a contract, and then they assign it to a buyer. So that is what an assignment is. Okay, number 21, good questions. So again, Anna, congratulations on passing your state. A real estate sales contract. Oh, and by the way, share with us how you studied, how often you studied, and if you went to a library, you locked yourself up, left your phone somewhere else, unless you were studying on your phone, right? So let's see. Number 21, and I'll come back to that. A real estate sales contract is an executory contract until, what's executory? The complete sale transaction is recorded. B, the buyer and seller have agreed to all provisions and have signed the contract. C, all the obligations and promises are performed and the transaction is closed. Or D, the loan has been approved, the title insurance has been obtained, and the closing date is set. So what is executory? An executory contract. We have so far 21C. And that is answer is C. All the obligations and promises are performed. Transaction. An executory contract is one for which the signatories have yet to perform their respective obligations and promises. Upon closing, the sale contract is fully performed and no longer exists as a binding agreement. So a real estate sale contract is an executory contract until. So once it closes and all the obligations and promises are performed, it's considered executed. It is done. It's closed. Funds have been disbursed. It's been recorded at the county clerk's. And now, the debt conveyed, everything has been conveyed and paid for. So it is already executed. Prior to being executed, it's called an executory. Prior to closing, during the process that it's in escrow at the title company with the escrow agent or at an attorney's office, and the inspections are being done during the option period, and then the buyer's credit is being final approval by the lender, or it may be cash. And then the appraisal, there's a loan, the survey, then they go to the closing table. And at that point, it's considered executed. It is no longer an executory. All right. What Anna is saying here, we asked her how she prepared. So she says, thank you. I say fifth try will be my national NLS because I'm 100% confident we'll pass. Awesome. That's the attitude to have. All right. And then she says, studied 6 hours daily with 5-minute breaks every 30 minutes. Fantastic. That 30 to 45 minutes. Okay, well, now that you're practicing the national, take a break every 20 to 30 minutes and the end of every 20-minute session. That is for what Jim Quick has written books and videos about. So the answer is C, okay? All the obligations and promises are performed and the transaction is closed. So at contract, it's an executory contract until all that happens. It closed. Now it's All right, and Anna says, and so these comments from Anna that'll help others, okay? So that's why I'm sharing the answers with you that she mentioned. Except my internet is slow, so there's a delay between and you seeing it. She says she studied about 6 hours a day with 5-minute breaks every 30 minutes or every 45 minutes. So I would maybe improve that by saying study and take breaks every 20 to 25 minutes. And also says she has read the book about 3 times. It's fantastic. Okay, that's what it takes so that you understand the material. So card keeps going in and out. So hopefully all of you can still hear me and see the questions. Number 22, in assisting a buyer or seller to complete an offer to purchase, assisting a buyer or seller to complete an offer to purchase. What should the agent do to reduce the risk of committing unauthorized practice law? A, use a standard promulgated by a state agency or a real estate standards promulgated by real estate trade organizations. C, offer legal advice only on points of the contract that the agent is absolutely certain about, or D, right? Which answer makes sense on when a buyer to complete a purchase? A or D? Answer here is A. Consolidated agency or every their own contract documents, right? And in Texas, we call our promulgated contracts, and we hold course on that when we're taking our 180 hours. In other states, you're promulgated. So just want to make a comment, share about Anna, that she studied those vocabularies over and over, right? And, times so that you can understand it. And you're going to have vocabulary in both national questions and state questions. So the setting so that you can see, you mean so you can see clearly? So on your screen, okay, on YouTube, you're going to see a little gear, and you'll see resolution for 1080. You'll see quality, which is at the show free. So select 720 or 1080 that you can see a very clear picture. Sometimes you'll only see maximum to 1080. So I just changed mine so that I could be able to explain it to you. To be enforceable, a contract for the conveyance of real estate must be what? B, must be written, a little bit too much. So A, that contract must be acknowledged by witnesses. B, be written. C, be recorded. Or D, have an expiration date. Type your answer in the chat. A, B, C, or D. To be enforceable. Okay, we've heard it many times. What makes a transaction? You see how it says for the conveyance of real estate must. Yeah, the audio is bad because the signal in it. That's why. That's life today and technology. So number 23 is B, to be written. A contract, in order to be enforceable, anything that is over a year or a sale contract must be in full. See, like you're seeing the answer 522. I unclicked that quite some time ago and it still shows. That's because of the internet. Well, if this continues, go off and okay, hopefully it'll be a little bit better. I went off and came back on. We are doing national right now, Lisbeth. Thanks for joining us. And I'm not streaming to Facebook today just because the signal is pretty bad. Okay. So 23 will be, right? Any contract to be enforceable must be in writing. Must. Okay. If it was a lease agreement less than 1 year, it can be verbal. But it's best to, and especially right in writing, because we get now if a client has an attorney can write contracts. Some investors, some builders, developers will use the same attorney on all transactions and have already their own contract. That is valid. Hey, you all, I'll probably end up cutting this class short because there's just too much interference, okay? Too much interruption here. You know me, I usually can go, an hour, 2 hours, sometimes more, but not when we're having so much issues. All right, so a buyer makes an offer to purchase a house and the seller accepts the offer. However, before the salesperson can inform the buyer of the seller's decision, the buyer delivers a written notice that she is opting out and canceling the agreement. At this point, which of the following is true? A, the contract has been legitimately canceled and is null and void. B, the seller must give the buyer an opportunity to make a new offer. C, the buyer must perform under the terms of the contract. Or D, the seller must notify the buyer in writing that the buyer is in default. Okay, so buyer makes an offer and the seller accepts person buying realtor, and then to the buyer delivers a written notice to terminate, to opt out. So what happens then? The answer here is A. You may have to watch the replay